Well, here we are in Africa. Zoom out. That's called the Eye of the Sahara. Speculation as to whether this is Atlantis. Now, to do so, I thought I'd have a quick check to see if there's any man-made channels through the rings into the inner rings of water. So we have, looks like there's a huge outer ring here. We'll dismiss that. It's buried in the sand or whatever. But here's one ring. Then there's a body of water here. Then there's another ring, a body of water here, and another ring, a body of water here, and a little bit of some hills in the middle. So, is this Atlantis? Well, one way to confirm would be if there's any man-made channels. And if there were, I'm sure they would have been discovered by now. So what I'm looking for is any evidence of something that could have been a man-made channel, and there's not much there. You could argue, well, it's been swamped in an apocalypse. Now, I would say Atlantis is pre-apocalyptic or cataclysmic rather, because if it's an advanced civilization, well, that would have been lost in said cataclysm. Likewise in Africa, Egypt rather, we've got the pyramids there, and they align perfectly north, south, east, west, and you could say, well, that means they're post-cataclysmic because the crustal displacement during the floods and things would have put them out of whack if they were pre. But then again, maybe it was gravitational upheaval and depression caused rather than crustal displacement, which is twisting and things. Well, there obviously was a lot of twisting and whatnot, buckling, but maybe not. Maybe as a result of this kind of action rather than actual physically twisting. The only way you could physically twist the crust in a cataclysm is if there was a comet, which was what I believe, but not an impact, but rather like the rings that form around planets. They are formed by the body of the gravitational pull of the planet is so great that it breaks up the smaller object, in this case being a comet. Now, I believe that the comet broke up in the what's called the Roche limit. That's what it's called, ROCHE. And the body breaks up and falls to the planet as, well, in this case, rain, deluge, flood, or snow. It may have been ice and ionized ice, landed on the poles, and the Earth is spinning out of balance, and there was crustal displacement. The fact that the pyramids, I believe, to be cataclysmic simply because they were built with advanced technology, which would have been immediately lost in a cataclysm, and it would have been there post-cataclysmic, would it? You wouldn't just come out of a cataclysm and then say, well, it's modern technology. No. So I'm for that it's pre-cataclysmic and that there was no crustal displacement, but rather gravitational upheavals and depressions. And that's probably why you could argue that this, being 400 metres above sea level, rose. But back to the point of the video, I can't see any evidence of any channels breaking through. In fact, it's a little disappointing. This middle ring doesn't seem to have any evidence of any channel. Now, that doesn't dismiss this as not being Atlantis, but it certainly doesn't help. And like I said, this was more looking for affirmation rather than dismissal. And there's no real affirmation. There are some channels, like down here, as you can see, a bit of a depression there. This is a great map, a bit of a shout out. It's called National Map. Can I move this damn screen on this video recording thing? Yeah, there you go. National Map. It's unfortunately going to be decommissioned on the 30th of June 2025 because no one uses it. And the reason why no one uses it is because I'm the only one who knows about it. And no one watches my videos, so now you don't know about it. That's the problem. Now, it's a brilliant map. It's better than Google Maps. Down here we have, see that? That's called elevation. Longitude and latitude, but I'm interested in elevation. Plus it's a 3D map. So, just like Google Earth, but better. So anyway, we're going to go zoom in here. And the outer ring, yeah, there's a channel there, okay? It's perfectly straight through there. That could be a washout, could be remnants of something that was man-made. There's a lot of lower areas in the outer ring. We don't need to do a lap of it. That's confirmed, especially down to the southwest. Now the inner ring, as you can see, big basin there, pooling of old water. Okay. Confirmed, okay? Access. Rather large, not a channel, but this middle ring is very disappointing. I can't see much at all. Let's go give it a zoom in. There, 3D. As you can see, I'm looking off to the left, not because I'm going to cough and check my testicles, but rather because my big screen is out there. Now, we scroll around. I'm going to get back to that. That is crazy. And as we can see, we have a relatively high ring here on the... I'm going to switcheroo to the inside here. And you go all the way around. Somewhere way up here at the northeast, there's a bit of a channel. And that's not it. Where is it? I don't know. Went past it. All right, we'll go back to it. Go back to it. Where is it? Northeast. Somewhere there. There it is. Yeah, right. There it is. See, there's a road through it even. If you could call it that. But it doesn't really... It's not really... That's a sand dune, I guess. Forming a straight line. But it's... You could dig that out and say, well, that's sand. If I dig that out, it'll be a perfect channel breakthrough there. But why would it be on the northeast? Because then people would have to come in their ships on the southeast and go all the way around to get into that ring, and then come around to the south. What am I saying southeast for? Southwest. Southwest, up to the northeast, down to the southwest, in again. That doesn't make sense. So ideally there'd be a ring here. That's where we started this scan. And unfortunately there's no cutout. There is this channel. You could argue that this channel is filled with sand, and that was your access to go along here, but that looks like a natural ridge there, doesn't it? It looks like something typically that has buckled. But if I don't know. Yeah, very interesting how that's like, you know, when you see cliffs with sedimentary layers at an angle. Interesting. And then it comes out here into the inner ring here, but that is a rather complex path to get in and out. It could be filled with sand, could be deeper channel. Looks like it's filled with sand, but not convincing. And these areas here don't look like they're sand dunes that have built up. And why would they built up in the same shape as the ring? So not convincing, this middle ring, that there's any channels at all. That's disappointing. Now, I was really rooting for this to be Atlantis. That doesn't dismiss it. I was looking for affirmation here with definite... Because if anything's going to survive a cataclysm, it's going to be a cased out channel in rock. You could argue, well, this is so hammered by a huge cataclysm that there's not much left. Which is true, but it's not helpful if there's no channel at all in this middle ring. Now, back to this. This is freaky. This doesn't make any sense whatsoever. All right, we're out in the middle of Sahara, so there's no rain. This amount of water erosion is not going to happen in the time span that Sahara has been a desert, especially with the amount of rainfall. It gets virtually none. So let's go back to another time when it was fertile. It makes no sense anyway. If you had, because there's no catchment area. That's your catchment area there. How much is that? 30 by 30 metres. That's your catchment area. It doesn't make any sense. The only way it makes any sense, see this channel here? The only way, but there's another one here and here and here. It makes no sense, and it's both sides. You could argue if there was it came from one side, from this side here, and came out through and broke a channel through there. Yes, but both sides absolutely. Why? The only way that could happen is if you had a wall. Maybe there was a wall here. You see, we can't conclude anything because we don't know. Nothing makes sense. Look, all right, you have a wall along this ring, and for some reason it works like a lock system. I don't know why. I'm just making up the only possible reason why you can have severe water erosion on both sides of this non-catchment area. Okay, I'm just bear with. That's the only way is if this was a wall, it had a hole in the wall, and the water came in and out, like tide or something through a gap, and there was a wall there, and that's where the gap was, and then another one here. Look, both sides, and another one here. Like the only way you can get water erosion both sides. Well, forget the wall. All right, put the wall back again. You know, is if water was going both in and out over this ring. Now this is the ring that doesn't have any channels in or out. So that's the ring that has all the water erosion. This one here has water erosion, but only one way. And this one here on the inner sanctum, doesn't really show much at all. But if they do have channels in and out, which they seem to do here, then it's very unlikely that they're going to have water erosion both sides, because why would it? Not much evidence there. No, not much evidence here. This is the only one. Not much evidence here of water erosion both sides on this ring. Well, no. But the middle ring in this location here has water erosion, severe water erosion out in the middle of the desert on both sides, that even if it was fertile and rainy and all that sort of stuff, would not cause this water erosion because it's not coming off a plateau. It doesn't have a water catchment area of where the water can land from the rain on the plateau and wash off at the lowest point, forming a ravine. Doesn't do it. No point. No. The only way this can happen is if there's no inlet or outlet, and water is washing in and then washing out and then washing in, and that makes no sense whatsoever, but it's the only explanation, and we know nothing, and thank you for watching.